What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Password. We are back again, like I said, and yes, we are gonna be continuing from where we left off on part two. So last time we messed, we just it just got day three. Message. Who did I say I was gonna message? Tyson, right? Yeah, Tyson. I knew Ty would be grumpy if I bothered him this early in the morning, but he was level-headed about stuff like this. I had faith I had faith that despite him chewing me out for interrupting his sleep, he'd put me at ease. Throwing caution into the wind, I sent him a message. Minutes ticked by, and right as I considered messaging Dean instead, Tyson replied. It was curt, but at least I knew he wasn't brushing me off. The moment another message came through immediately after saying I could stop by. Assumed that meant that he wasn't going to be getting out of bed, so I got dressed so that I could make the walk down the hall. The light was off, but I eased open the door, slipping inside. I carefully closed it behind me. Ty? Hey, buddy. I kept my voice low, but I could see his eyes watching me from the bed. What what little light in the room showing that he was still clearly in bed on his side. So how dark is it? And come here. Sure. Wandering closer, I saw on the bed, playing with my fingers and not really sure where to start. So, better be a good reason why you woke me up, bud. He yawned, scratching and adjusting himself as he sat there. I noticed that the fly on his pants were undone, a sign of he just thrown them on occasionally. Ty did sleep in the buff. Oh, if you want some eye candy, you could have waited until I was awake. It could have waited until I looked up, noticing Ty watching me, and I gulped, laughing nervously. Sorry, but, your fly is undone. What? Get a good... What, get a good enough look? To be fair, it was dark enough in the room that I couldn't see anything, but with how he was sitting, even if the lights were on, I doubt I would have seen anything worth anyway. You wanted to talk, so hurry up already. Right, sorry. You look like you haven't slept. I slept a little. You okay? Just... This house is creeping me out. Just the house, though. But where is everyone? We're it. We're it. How else? How else could we get a fucking mansion for a month for free? I'm, I mean, I paid nothing. Unless you guys paid for it all before I was invited, you ain't gonna ask for money now, are you? Of course not, Ty. I wouldn't want that. He grunted in response, leaning back, doing up his fly so that he couldn't, so he could freely lay back. You reckon the weirdo would? You reckon the weirdo would put this together, then just screw you over? Hey, be nice. Still a weirdo, believing in ghost stuff. Heard it enough times from the other end of the bus. You don't believe in it even a little? Or would I? You never just once thought that maybe? Nope. Where I see it, there's enough things that could hurt you in the flesh that there's no point worrying about it. Even if they did, chances are you'd be dead long gone before any of that mattered. Demons exist, sure, but not the way that Boar wants to think. Oh. It was an awkward silence held between us for almost a full minute before Ty spoke again. Look, would it make you better if... Would it make you feel better if I said I'll keep you safe? Can't punch ghosts, but I'll have you back, alright? Just like normal. Yeah, that helps. Thanks. Just don't go being paranoid, though. I won't, Ty. Promise. You fucking better. No, I'm going to get some sleep. Unless you plan on sleeping on the floor, better get back to your room. Ty walked me to the door, opening it for me. He leaned on the door frame as I passed through, reaching out to grab me by the shoulder and get one last thing. Next time, try not to make it so early. Otherwise, come talk anytime. No. That's the thing I love about Ty. He could... how do I say this? He's a sweetheart mostly to Dave. Like, it's tough love, basically. Tough love, basically. Like, that's what I see it as. Tyson's adorable, though, honestly. Like, bro. He's adorable. In my opinion, other people might not think so. But you know what? Tyson is adorable. I love him. He closed the door before I could get a word in, but I felt somewhat better. I had half a mind to knock and thank him properly, but I also figured that I could always thank him later. The that, I wandered back to my room until it was time to head down for breakfast. Much like the first night, I was the last one to arrive to breakfast. And once again, I had free call as to who to sit next to. Dean or Ted? Okay, so it's only giving us 2 options this time. So this must be for a certain thing. So obviously, we're gonna stay with our boy Tyson. After talking to Ty this morning, I figured I may as well spend breakfast with him too. Morning. Morning. Feeling better. I am, yeah. Hungry though. You got some sleep after I left? Oh, eventually. Took care of myself first thought. What? Like, groomed? Yeah, sure. That's what most guys do in the morning before getting up. I do not do that, guys. My schedule right now is like, I wake up, get something to eat, brush my teeth, and then I just get on my computer. Or my Xbox, depends which one I decide to get on first. My schedule sucks, bro. My schedule sucks. I promise you, people are gonna say stuff about it. In my house, at least. Come on, think about it for a second. One advantage was sleeping with no clothes. Still wake me up that early again, and you might become part of this morning routine if you aren't careful. What is that supposed to mean? I'll, keep that in mind. As I started grabbing food from in front of him, stocking up his plate and tucking in. With how fast he was eating, I could have sworn I was sitting next to Dean. Whoa, hungry much? Hey, free grub. Good free grub. Well, yeah, but aren't you gonna get sick eating that fast? Nah, I know my limits. You should get some food in you though. Boy's gonna take a look around. Figure you might want to go. Sure, I don't have any other plans for today. Great. Ty setting out bears cause everyone to look his way. Not that it seemed to really bother him all that much. Oh, he yelled, great. Maybe he was just lonely? Riding the enthusiasm, Ty got up and left. Figured that if he was already on his way to check out the place, I should probably follow. So you had a look around the place, yeah. Could say that. Anywhere you recommend to kick us off? Actually, before that, I need to head back to the room. Without waiting, Ty started to jog up the stairs. Alright, so now that you're here, I'm not going to mince words, Dave. Ty began to pace before sighing, giving me a hard stare before continuing. I came because you invited me, but I think you made a mistake given who else is here. I'm thankful, don't get me wrong. But I think that as a whole, you should have picked someone else. Well, I get what you're saying. Well, I get what you're saying. Not as if you could head home now, right? Could call a cab or something. Well, yeah, but that'd be stupid expensive. Besides, why not just make the most of it? Could spend time in the month training or wandering the woods. Yeah, right. Let that go down well. Something tells me spending the whole month in the dark basement is a little sus. So what's the alternative? Well, I ain't apologizing. Well, ideal scenario then? Don't get on well with them. They're different people, and that's okay. Besides, you can keep me company. It's not so bad. I'm fine with that. Well, if you're sure. Still, what are you planning to do today? Gym all day? Nah, still want to have a look around. Room should we start with? Well, you got the basement covered. Anything good upstairs? There's like, I guess you call it a reading room? Books? Pass. There's a kind of study/museum combo upstairs. Bunch of old stuff to look at. You make it sound like a field trip. Could check out the games room upstairs, almost like a casino. Could get behind that. If anything, make us some quick cash. You like to gamble? Well, sorta. Guess I'm lucky, I guess. Better at placing bets on hands of poker or blackjack. Tired sticking away from the slots. I'll probably go check out the gym after, either way. Want to work off breakfast at some point. Alright, sure. You just work off breakfast like that. Two of us head to the bedroom, Tyson leading the way and sticking his head into an open door he could find until we found the games room. Well. I went over to one of the slots, machines resting against the wall and gave the lever a whack. More like a casino than I thought it'd be. But they have a setup like this anyway. Like, what's the point of a slot machine if you owe it? And any money you put in, you'll just get back. But if you had friends over, still, they'd just be stooging money off your friends. What if it pays out too? You're just gonna give money away like that for free? Well, I guess if you're rich enough to have a place like this, maybe money isn't that big a deal. Must be nice. Let's go. What else is in here? Looks like they have a projector set up. Yeah, apparently there's a bunch of video games rigged up to play off it or something. Oh yeah? According to Orlando, at least, didn't go into any details of how it worked. Still, suppose that's something, right? So I went over to one of the cabinets, rifling through things sitting on the shelves. Don't see any games here. A couple books, spare controllers, and stuff. Controllers mean games though, right? At the very least a console. You'd think that. Tyson spent a bit more time rummaging before coming over with a folder. I think this might help. Let's see. Catalog of the game room. Of the games room. Access to the main TV and attached devices is done by the control panel inside the cabinet shown. Looks like there's, hidden panel or something in the cabinet over there. I'll go have a look. I wandered over to the cabinet Ty pointed out, and upon looking inside, there was a panel with a bunch of buttons and switches. I flipped the switch and immediately a section of the wall slid aside to reveal a large screen. Oh hey, this sort of looks like a TV. Not quite. That's just something for the image to project onto. They've just dressed it up a bit. Tyson pointed up to the ceiling with a small box, seemed to be pointing at the wall that just opened up. That should be the projector. Must come down when the wall opened. Don't remember seeing it up there minutes ago. There's a couple other switches here. Should I press them? Don't see why not. Besides, if we break anything, they should have made it less fragile, right? Well, I don't really want to have to explain why something's broken when we've only been here a couple days. We'll move over then. I'll do it. Without waiting for me to move, Ty shoved past and started flicking switches. First screen came on, then a few shelves, and following the screen, the following screen had a list of games pre-installed ready to play. Not bad. Oh yeah? Check out how many games they got. It's probably a custom rig of some kind. Don't think mine at home could hold this many. You have one of these? Well, one of them. Seems like they have one of everything, and have them all running at the same time. Oh shit. Wonder how they're doing that. Gonna try to do it at home? If I get another console, sure. Why won't? Sure, they won't mind if I help myself. What, you're gonna take one of these home? Yep. I'm going to miss one. But they're not gonna miss one lousy console. But that's stealing! And don't fucking tell anyone. But look, if you don't want a guilty consequence, don't watch me steal it. Hell, I won't even steal it right now. Jeez, you're such a buzzkill. Oh, you are in the mood now. Let's go somewhere else. Oh, okay. Tyson stomped out of the room without another word. Still, despite me being the reason he was being sour, he ushered me to come follow. We passed Russell in the foyer, who seemed to just be standing around, almost waiting. I just stomped past towards him in the dining room, paying Russell in the mind. That was close. He didn't look too happy. Yeah, that was my fault. We were upstairs in the game rooms and, It doesn't matter. Still, games room is pretty cool. Should check it out if you get the chance. Oh, then I should maybe. Maybe after lunch? Oh yeah, we're getting close to that. We're getting close to that, aren't we? Yep. Was gonna go on ahead before, well, don't worry, I get it. Oh, well that's a relief. Don't know what I'll do standing out here. Don't know what I'll do though. Standing out here until the others arrive seems kind of weird, don't you think? Well, if it were me, I'd just go into the dining room anyway. Oh yeah? Well, I mean, Ty's just Ty. I get that he kind of looks like he'll pick a fight with whoever, but he's an alright guy. Especially now. Trust me. Well, if you say so. You're coming too, I guess? In a bit. Gonna get something from my room first. Alright, well, I'll see you when you get back then. Wander upstairs heading to my room. seemed as though everyone else was out, though no one seemed to be in their rooms otherwise. When I got to my room, I noticed that things seemed different. Nothing major, just had someone been in here? I changed my shirt and went downstairs. Seemed as nothing was missing. By the time I was back downstairs, everyone seemed to be hurrying to the dining room. When I arrived, though, okay, something's going on. Yep. Really, anyone could have heard the yelling as they approached, but entering made it all the worse. Seems as though everyone heard it, as everyone else following close behind. Who are you calling dog, pig? That's... Russell and Tyson were on the opposite side of the table, Tyson snarling and hunched over to one of the chairs, looking like he'd jump over it. What's going on? That porker called me a dog. I did it, I swear. Russell made a break for it, hiding behind Sal. Tyson was right behind him, stopping shy of Sal and snarling up the mass of the crocodile in his way. What the? Oh. What happened? Sal looked back at Roswell, opting to address him rather than the wolf in front of him, making Ty back off and huff. No one's hurt, right? You didn't, you know. Ty looked like he was about to explode, eyes bulging out of the corner of his mouth turned downward. By comparison, Roswell was merely clinging onto the back of Sal's shirt, using him as a physical barrier. I needed answers, and I didn't like the idea of them two fighting. Maybe it was just a simple misunderstanding? I looked between Roswell and Tyson, clearing my throat. Who to ask? Tyson, of course. We're just going completely Tyson, guys. He is like, look at him. He may be grumpy right now, but deep down he's a good soul. Let me get a sip of water. My water's warm. I need to go refill it or something. Tyson, what happened? Tyson Ty must have calmed him a little, as rather than seem full-blown rabid, he was only mildly frustrated. Well, he shot Roswell a dirty look before looking back at me, hands still balled up into a fist. Called me a dog to my face. How do you pronounce that? Lupus. I'm a wolf, damn it. I don't go play fetch. No sooner than Tyson had spoken up, Roswell stepped out from behind Sal, stomping his feet. I told you it's Canis Lupus. You're still a canine. See? He's doing it again. I pointed out Roswell, shooting me a desperate look. I wonder if this is what it's like to have children. I wasn't like this as a kid, was I? This is what you're fighting about, really? Yeah, guys. There's plenty of reasons you could be fighting, and you choose that, really? Hey, it could be personal. Tyson's just making trouble again, it seems. Ty did a double take, looking between Sal and Haas, then finally to me. I wasn't sure what he wanted me to do, and maybe I realized a little too late that he wanted some backup before he bailed, disappearing down the hall. I seemed to be the only one watching where Tyson went, everyone else going to check on Roswell. He was the smallest of the group and the youngest, so maybe there was some obligation to make sure he was okay first. Maybe it was just like they disliked Tyson that much that they didn't care how he was feeling. There was every chance Ty would be fine given his space, but I'm chasing after him. Bro, that's I swear that's honestly not fair. Like, how you gonna do my boy Tyson like that? Like, sure, he has a reputation, sure, but wasn't that like, dude, you guys ended school. He doesn't go to school no more. How long ago was this, damn it? How long ago was this? Can I get some clarification, please? I'm chasing after Tyson. I stole another look at the rest of the group before shaking my head. Even if everyone else thought he was overreacting, he was still upset. And he was my friend. The others could take care of Ross well, so he was in good hands. Tyson, however, the only reason I knew where he was because I spotted his tail disappearing down the stairs towards the basement. Oh my god, I need to breathe. God. Ty? It was dark, but I noticed him with his arms tight across his chest, leaning back into one of the walls. He wasn't looking at me, but with how his ears twitched, I could tell he knew I was there. You alright? Do I sound alright to you? He spat the words out, making me flinch. I took a step back, and he seemed to realize what he did a moment later. Look, I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It means a lot you followed me, though. But, Ty, was that the way to react to, really? Really? How'd that even come up anyway? We were talking about you, actually. About me? Yeah, doesn't matter what about what. He just made a comment about my tail when you were mentioned. Your tail? Yes, my tail. Can't stop wagging it sometimes. Anyways, took a dig and called me a happy puppy. Then started claiming that Canis or whatever thing. Canis? Yeah, Canis. I don't want to take sides, but and then you make an excuse for your actual friend. Figures. No, just I want you to get along with everyone. I know it's hard, but that's inside rolling his eyes before looking me over. He said nothing at first, but when he did, his tone was level and calm. Okay, fine. I'll do it for you. I'm not going to stand for any of that dog nonsense. You hear me? I'll tell Roswell to be more careful how he jokes around. Promise. So, come for lunch, please? Nah, I'm not hungry anymore. Gonna go work out for a bit, then maybe have a nap. He ruffled the fur on top of my head, showing me a smile. I'll be fine, bud. I'll see you at dinner. Watch as he heads to the gym and out of sight. Part of me wondered if I should keep him company or head back upstairs. But he said he was fine, and he was usually right. It wasn't the first time he got upset, and we had this talk. And it probably wasn't going to be the last. Comfortable that Tyson would be okay eventually, I headed back upstairs for lunch. With the argument behind us and the time being, we got settled at one end of the table while Orlando ducked into the kitchen to prepare lunch. Orlando brought a big tray of what seemed to be any sort of sandwiches you could imagine. They were only small pieces, almost like finger food. You made all these, Orlando? Looks good. Feel bad that you went through through all the trouble given we have a butler. I don't really mind. Friends make each other sandwiches, right? I thought that was a wife's job. Almost immediately, Sal whacked Dean across the back of his head. Bro, Dean, you can't go saying that. You can't go saying Sal just did it. Sal hit him like that. Almost immediately, Sal whacked Dean across the back of the head, shooting him a fierce look before going to pick lettuce out of his sandwich. How's everyone been? How's everyone been going so far, anyway? We were around the table sharing what we found, but most of it was pretty tame. Just minor discoveries each of us had made about the place. Well, I did end up speaking to Benson about the activity. I think you'll like it, and with how all over the place we've been, just as well too. Alright. What do you got in mind? Ready? A scavenger hunt. A scavenger hunt? Yeah, it's a great idea. But why a scavenger hunt? More importantly, what are we finding? Well, that's where Benson came in and helped. Turns out there were a set of medals that once belonged to the people that lived here. Apparently they got hidden around the place by one of the kids as a prank. Wait, so we're just looking around for stuff that no one else could find? Well, yes. But Benson told me to pass on that there was a reward. Well, alright. I think I can find a medal or two. Forget about that. I want to know about the reward first. Wouldn't that be better as a surprise? Can't expect us to go wandering around only to get an expired coupon as a prize. Or like a second DVD in the B-grade anime. The reward is access to the vault downstairs. There's a silence and a few expressions thrown about the table. That's crazy. Never mind. Anything worth inside is ours, in exchange for the medals. Apparently they have intense sentimental value to Benson. Sentimental value? Sure, but to give us whatever's inside the vault? Is it good? We looked at one another again before considering what could be inside the vault. Money? Treasure? My mind wandered to what I hoped was beyond the door. Money would be nice, but there was always a saying about not buying happiness. Treasure would be neat, but wouldn't that just be a different kind of money? Hold on a minute. What's wrong, Orlando? What if he just wants us to find the medals for some sort of ghost ritual thing? Should we help him? Really? I don't think the medals were for that. Oh yeah? Then where are the medals? Then what were they medals of? The Zodiac, actually. So, see? That's totally in the realm of ritual possibility. Think about all the games you play when you have to collect things that turn out that the player was a fool for assembling everything for the villain. So I reached over to Orlando's face and held his mouth shut. Seemed to be gentle, but but he sighed and looked back at Roswell, just gently covering his mouth so that he doesn't speak. What do they look like? Well, about that, Benson just said they had a colored ribbon and that they were made of metal. They have signs of the zodiac engraved on them too. That's something to go off. But what color ribbon? What type of metal? Russell shrugged, shaking his head. That's all the info Benson was willing to give me. This has creepy ritual written all over it. Maybe, but what if it is? If it wasn't? I've been to your house. You have some strange collections. Maybe let's not get into what sort of things our hoard saw. Okay, let's find those medals. Well, that was a quick turnaround. I'll take it though. Did you say horoscopes? If we're talking star signs, that makes 12 in total, right? Cancer, Aquarius, Leo, obviously. Aries, Pisces, Taurus, Capricorn. What's your guys' zodiac? I'm gonna put that as the question question of the day, guys. What's your guys' zodiac? I am Taurus, actually. Leo, obviously. Aries, Pisces, Taurus, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, and Gemini. I could tell that he's a Leo just from how he said obviously. You just know all of them off the top of your head? Well, it helped that I checked mine on the bus. Normally I do, and I picked up a magazine for the drive here. I suppose that makes sense, but still, is that a normal thing to do? I know Sal likes checking his. I check mine from time to time, but I don't put a lot of stock into it. They're a bit too vague. I look across to Sal, who seemed to be nodding slightly in Dean's direction. Very true. Can't say that I have a lot of stock in them, but they're fun to at least look at. How about this? Let's tackle the scavenger hunt in pairs and decide tomorrow what those teams will be, right? Why not now? Well, I was hoping we'd all be present. After all, might need all the help we can get for our search, even if that means keeping Tyson in the loop. Even after earlier, sure, that's a wise idea. You got nothing if we can only find 11 out of the whole set. As much as I don't like Tyson, we're kind of stuck. Yeesh, when you put it that way, I guess it makes sense. We're picking teams out of a hat, or bigger problem is if we do this in pairs, we're going to have uneven teams. Wait, really? I counted those at the table plus Tyson, realizing what he meant. Oh, yeah. What about groups of 3? Could work. A team of 3 might be a bit more of a bother than actual help, though. At least that way no one gets left out. Assuming everyone wanted to take part, but even then, team that finds the most medals wins, right? I thought the whole point was to find them all, and that we got nothing without a complete set. Ah, right. You got me there. And a party for the winners for contributing the most gets the full set. Failing that, we can just get ice cream as a consolation prize. Oh, that. Not going to turn down free food either. I'm with you on that one. We finished off lunch and split up to do our own thing. As for me, I figured I'd get a nap in. I collapsed on my bed trying to get comfortable, but my mind wandered. I was curious about that door downstairs. What was behind it? And if it was worth finding a bunch of medals for. Sitting up, I pulled out my journal and wrote down what happened so far. Despite only having been here a couple of days, I had a lot on my mind. Despite me writing down everything that was immediately on my mind, the temptation to go downstairs was still there. Go downstairs. Ooh, visit the vault or stay in the room. It wants us to visit the vault, and I'm gonna try that same I'm gonna try the same thing that I've been trying last video. Taking another look at my journal, I put it in my bag before leaving the room. I wandered downstairs to look to see if anyone was around, but it seemed like everyone was still doing their own thing. I could hear someone else down here, likely Tyson in the gym, but I was intent on heading to the door that got me so curious. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna do the same thing, guys. The lovers. Oh shit! Oh, it actually worked. Password accepted. The message flashed on the screen for a moment before disappearing, almost like I had shorted out. A moment following that, it seemed like it was waiting for further input. Did something happen? As I stood there contemplating what had happened, I felt closer to my friends, all of them. As different as all of us were, we seemed to all get along to varying degrees. None of us were perfect, but I wouldn't trade any of them for the world. Aw, that's sweet. That's sweet, Dave. That's really sweet. Anywho, what did that do? What are the passwords supposed to do? Because that worked. That's the only one I know of. That's the only one I know of. So, am I going to have to put in passwords when? I'm going to have to input passwords. Is that like the only password or something? No other ideas. I headed back to my. Once I settled into my room, I must have fallen asleep at some point. The bed was comfier than I gave it credit for. The only reason I woke up was because I heard knocking at my door. I looked at my phone to check the time. It was early for dinner, but maybe something had happened. Come in? Hey, there's the music. Roswell! Roswell opened the door and wandered inside, hand rummaging around in a bag of jelly beans before shoving a handful in his mouth. Hey, Dave. What you up to? I was asleep. Not that I meant to. What about you? Snack time? Oh, nothing. Just checking in. Want some jelly beans? I shook my head, rolling over, so I was sitting on the side of the bed with Roswell coming closer to join me. He put the jelly beans away, bumping me gently in the arm. So, any ideas who you want to partner up with for the scavenger hunt? I'm honestly happy with whoever as a partner. I think this will give us a good chance to learn more about each other. I think I'm kind of in the same boat. We're all friends, but I guess it's different when you're living with someone, right? Well, I guess this is close analog. I guess this is a close analog for that, sure. Plus, who knows? Maybe doing so will let some romance blossom. I chuckled, shaking my head at him. I thought it was bad enough that Orlando was playing wingman, but who knows what Roswell and Orlando had been discussing at this point. That was why you wanted us to pair up? Not really, but it could happen. A lot can happen in a month after all. Well, that's true. What about you? Huh? Who are you hoping to partner up with? I mean, it's become less of a game if you don't rightly get along with who you paired up with. Beyond that, I don't think I mind. I frowned immediately feeling as if though he was taking a jab at Tyson. But there really wasn't anyone that could partner up with Tyson if everyone felt the same as Roswell. Except for me, that is. I get the feeling that, say, Dean and Haas might not get along as much as they seem fairly laid back. Or even Sal and Haas, given one likes water and the other, well... Now that just sounds like you're being racist. But maybe you're right. Oh, I didn't mean for it to come across that way, really. I just know Haas doesn't like the pool because of the chlorine. I guess that makes sense. I'm sure it'll work out, right? We're all reasonable people deep down, I'm sure. My mind wandered over to the interaction with Benson for some reason. Maybe Ross will know more about him to make sense. Oh yeah, I was meaning to ask you about Benson. Does he seem odd to you? Odd how? I mean, he's kind of creepy when you're in the same room as him, or maybe it was just a tiredness getting to me? Probably the tiredness. Haven't noticed anything odd. If I do, I'll let you know though. I'm not slowly trying to convince myself that it was all in my head. Normally when I do though, I kind of wish I could just save the game when I wake up just in case something happens, like in a video game. It's a little childish, I know. I put it down to hanging out with Orlando a little too much. But hey, the reinsurance would be nice if I could get to do the day over if I screwed up. We both laughed off, me shaking my head at how Roswell continued to giggle at his joke long after I stopped. Well, I should continue checking on the others until dinner. Probably should tell Tyson about the scavenger hunt too. Or Excel if you could do it. Nah, don't worry. I'll fill him in at dinner. It'll be easier that way. Alright, I'll leave you to it then. See you at dinner. With a spring in his step, Roswell left, closing the door behind him. Saving the game, huh? Are you telling me to save the game? Are you telling me to save the game? Because if you're telling me that, then boom, save the game right there. Saving the game, huh? The rest of the afternoon was uneventful, and how I spent most of it contemplating what Roswell said. How often does he have bad enough feelings to want to have a do-over? Is that telling me something? As the doorbell rang, we all made our way to the dining room. A scavenger hunt, huh? Given what happened on lunch, Jackson was sitting by himself at one end of the table, while everyone else huddled around the other end. It was almost like seating arrangements at a high school cafeteria. Tell you what, I'll think on it. Not normally my thing, but I could sleep on it, yeah. Yeah, teams are being decided tomorrow. Alright, we'll see how it goes in the morning. Thanks for filling me in. I watched Tyson scoff the rest of the meal before leaving without another word. Seems as though things were still stinging from earlier, or at least that was my guess. The rest of the meal was uneventful, the rest of us just idly chatting before heading off to bed. Whatever the reason, all of us found ourselves groggy and wanting to sleep. Man, I'm beat. I checked my phone and it was relatively early. I considered messaging one of the guys or even just wandering over to their room to see if they wanted to do anything. But given how tired everyone seemed, I decided to go against it for now. I showered and jumped into bed and sleep, finding me fairly quickly. As I laid in bed though, I worried about what tomorrow would bring. Do we have any chance of finding those medals? Would we just get bored of it eventually? Not that there was any sort of things to do around here if we stopped looking. Day 4. I tossed and turned through the night. Something just didn't sit right. Just something about the scavenger hunt had me at odds. Just something wrong about it. My throat felt dry and my head was spinning. Tiredness lingered from last night if I hadn't slept at all. I rolled over and checked the time. It was early, and for a vacation, I wasn't getting much in the way of a decent sleep. I swung my legs over the side of the bed, groaning and clutching my stomach. The feeling of unease hit me somewhere deep. It wasn't pain so much as a fear of something was going wrong, terribly wrong. In a daze, I get dressed, readied myself for the day. Part of it was lying on my bed and splayed out in an attempt to settle my nerves. The other part was thinking back to the reassurance that Roswell gave me that night before. Things were quiet by the time I got up. Either the others were still in bed or they were all off doing things elsewhere. I wandered and I heard people in the dining room, so I went to investigate to see who exactly was up. Landon and Roswell were sitting at the table, both looking up as I entered the room. Roswell had his notebook with him again, but before I could notice much, they were greeting me. Morning, Dave. Did you sleep well? Taking a seat next to Roswell, I rubbed my face, groaning as my eyes still adjusted to light. Morning shouldn't be allowed to exist. Someone needs coffee. Let me go get you some. Bro, I can't say I can't say that I don't function without coffee. I don't drink coffee much. I can see myself in the future starting to drink a lot more coffee though. Especially if I record in the nighttime, I need something to keep me awake, bro. So, what? What's bothering you, Dave? When something wrong, usually you kind of wrinkle your nose up a bit. I groaned again, resting the chin on my table as I slumped forward. I haven't been sleeping well, I guess. This whole place is giving me some weird vibe still. I had to put a hand on my shoulder to give me a careful look. Well, for what it's worth, you're not alone there. I feel something off about this place ever since we arrived. Can't put my finger on it though. So far it's just been chalking things up to my imagination. I put it down to Roswell making jokes about ghosts, but still. Orlando shuddered, trying to shake off a bad vibe. It was one of those violent shakes that went from him straight to me from the point of contact he had on my shoulder. Oh my god, I get shivers like that when I hear like an intense amount of yelling, like in person. Like people could be yelling on a TV show or something like that, but if like, let's say for example, if a mother was if a father was yelling at their children or kid, and like a really loud tone of voice and serious tone, I would just shudder and all that. Well, if it helps, I could give you a heads up if I notice anything really off, and we could go half on a taxi out here. Give me enough of a heads up, and I'll cover any cost for the thanks as a thanks for letting me know. Russell wandered back with a cup of coffee, placing it carefully in front of me. He seemed just as uneasy as Orlando was as he sat back down. What did I miss? Nothing important, don't worry. Orlando Answered Roswell. I started drinking from the mug provided. Slightly sweeter than what I'd normally take it, but the hot beverage was just what I needed to start the day. There's the Dave I know and love. Feeling better now? I nodded quickly as I could feel the dopey grin on my face while the taste lingered on my tongue. You look just as shaken as Orlando. Did you want me to make you... Oh, no, you look just as shaken, Orlando. You want me to make you a cup too? Oh, no, I'm fine. Thank you. I don't drink coffee, remember? Wait, really? How come? Orlando removed his hand from my shoulder and started to fidget, unsure of how best to respond. There was, some bad experiences? Bad experiences? Like what? Did you do something? Sitting up a little straighter, I tried to think back to all the times we'd gone out to get snacks or drinks, and whenever I'd get coffee, Orlando would just get tea or something else. Oh yeah, you never did get coffee with me. What was the reason for that? I just swore off coffee one day after something happened. That's all. Tea's better for you anyway. You've been spending too much time with Haas. Coffee's fine. I gestured at Roswell while looking at Orlando clinging to the validation. Maybe not with how Roswell takes it, but sure, coffee's fine. How does Roswell take coffee? Hey, I'll have you know I'm perfectly functional in the morning without coffee. How are you so perky in the morning? I just try to sleep well. It takes the chance that and take the chance to relax at times, you know? Relax, but how? Orlando and I looked at each other before turning back to Roswell, unsure of how best to reply. What? Isn't that a little personal? He's a guy, and I don't know how it works for dragons. Could be magical for all I know. I sat back and enjoyed my coffee while I grilled Orlando for clarification. Not that it lasted long as everyone else started to file in for breakfast. Much like the night before, Ty took his seat at the far end of the table, away from everyone else. I shot him a curious look, but he was out of it, still waking up, it seemed. Once everyone else was seated, I turned to Roswell. So, why do you have your notebook, Roswell? You don't remember? We're sorting teams out for the scavenger hunt today. Oh, right. But how are we gonna fix a whole uneven teams problem? Honestly, I couldn't think of a solution that enabled us to only have pairs, so we're probably stuck on that front. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught Ty scoffing, but he didn't say anything against joining in. Well, hey, I don't mind the idea of pairs. I looked at Dean, sinking in my chair a little when I caught his expression, almost as if preempting where Dean's mind was going. Sal whapped him upside the head. Bro, if my friend did that to me, bro, I need my friend, like whenever we go out or something like that, if I say something, I need them to whack me upside the head. Whether or not Ty wanted a closer seat to seeing Dean getting hit, or if he was feeling really lonely, I don't know. He made his way down the table to sit next to me in the free seat. First seemed fine, but how are we picking? Pull names out of a hat? Is it fine for it to be random? I try to be subtle when gesturing with my head at Tyson, but boy, who the fuck doesn't want to play this stupid game anyway? Or if I want to partner with any of you to begin with. With Tyson picking a fight on one side of me, while as well audibly ground his teeth together on my other side, I rubbed my face hoping we could move on before another fight broke out. So, we have no idea how we're gonna get this going. Roswell? Orlando? Anyone? Well, why don't you just pick someone and we go from there? Maybe if teams start forming, then I don't know. He shrugged at me, looking expectantly. Would it be alright if I just chose? But even then, who do I pick? I looked around the table. You guys know exactly who I'm picking. I looked around the table and wondered who the best choice would be. I had a feeling that whoever I picked could shape the rest of my vacation, though. Is that supposed to mean something? Who should my partner be? You guys already know. I'm going with Dean. I'm joking. We're going Tyson, guys. Picking Tyson seemed to make the most sense if he wanted to play. At least that way no one else would be stuck with him and run the risk of another fight starting. But I liked Tyson. He wasn't perfect, but we spent a lot of time together as it was. So there was some level of familiarity there that made picking him as a partner make sense. Not that it was really a chance to learn anything new, but I wasn't going to say no if it happened. Choose Tyson? Fuck yeah. I looked to my right, unsure of what it was. of what I was about to suggest would ruin Roswell's plans for this thing. Still, he was to some extent my responsibility. Ty. I'll pick Tyson. He looked at me over and started to chuckle as the rest of the table going silent after I announced my choice. Me? Really? Is that bad? This is fucking stupid, but don't know. If you want me to play, I guess I'll give it a shot. Looked at the others, unsure of what was going to mess with the overall plans of things. Well, okay, this could still work. I could still play the role of the overseer of this game, so the teams could stay even. Russell seemed to be taking things better than I expected. Part of me worried that I was going to get chewed out at some point, but for the time being, it seems like I was safe. After all, someone's got to keep tally of who finds what, so we can declare a winner. I guess that works. I'll partner up with Dean. Figured that's a good enough way to divide the rest of the group. I don't quite get it, but sure, I suppose that works out. I'm fine with this if it makes it easier. Scales versus fur, right? Oh yeah, that's true, scales versus fur. I wondered for a moment if Sal had discounted the team of myself and Tyson, or if he was assuming that it was the four of us pitted against him in Orlando. I sat back in my chair before looking to Roswell. Okay, so what happens now? Well, Benson gave me a clue. Hold on, if Benson knows where these things already, why are we going to go look for them? Maybe he knows only of this one? After all, it doesn't make much sense to offer a reward for just running an errand after him. Then there's the whole idea of supposed to last a month. Can't have us finding everything in a day or two, right? Yes, not. How far spread are these things supposed to be? This time we might end up having to search the forest, too. What's the clue we have to work with anyway? Oh, right. Probably in the hedge. That's a good clue, guys. Probably in the hedge maze. That's not much of a clue. Agreed. Just sort of tells us where to look. It would have been more appropriate to say, hidden in the deep labyrinth of green, you'll find a golden sheen. We don't know if they're gold, do we? Don't know. What made a better clue than just go check the hedge maze? This is the clue that was given to me. What do you want me to do about it? Nothing at all. Don't worry about it, I guess. Exactly. Now let's head outside. We found outside, wandering over to the maze, mostly riding on... Was that? Oh, that's cool. That's like a little blue tent. That's cool. That wasn't there before, I think. I'm gonna have to look back on the recording. We found outside, completely wandering over to the maze, mostly riding high on the curiosity. I have to admit, it was nice doing even as a group. These were my friends. These were the people that made me happy. Even Tyson, who has seemed reluctant to really interact with anyone else, was lingering close to the group. That said, he was my partner in this, so maybe that's why. Splitting off into our pairs, we took one last look at the maze. Russell seemed to plant himself by the entrance, taking a look inside before expecting the rest. Okay, this should be fine. It's just a maze, right? I was revving myself up. A little friendly competition never hurt anyone, after all. Tyson clapped me on the shoulder while I was hyping myself up, bringing me back to earth. You done being a dork yet? Hey, I'm just having fun with it. Would it kill you to smile, maybe? Well, I've got plenty to smile about, but you know, with you on my team. I tilted my head to the confusion, not quite sure what Tyson was getting at before noticing him glancing at Roswell. Oh my god. The boy was seemingly weighing on his option before heading by himself. Hero was about to ask if he wanted to join us, but, well, turned out I was too late to extend that offer. When I looked back at Tyson, he was looking past me towards the entrance of the maze. So, mazes, right? Mazes, yeah. Fuck them. Say we cheat. Huh? Cheat? Isn't that, cheating? And that's bad? It only matters if you find the thing. If you don't get caught, no one's gonna know we're cheating. This wasn't the first time Tyson had suggested something of the sort, but up until this point, he'd always make it clear that I wasn't gonna get involved and just to leave it to him. Apparently, something about my laughing made it harder, but I think it's just really... Is that... Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say... So, okay. Is that because he's a hyena? Because if so, then I'm saying this right now is 100% true. Okay, but they're going to see us when we get to the middle, right? Like, they'll see us climb through a hole. What hole? How do you think we're going to be cheating? I don't know, maybe go through the walls or digging under them, maybe? I shrugged, giving Tyson a sheepish smile as he groaned. Hell no. Hell no to the digging. Slipping through the walls isn't a bad idea. Points for trying, though. They're not hedges, though. Just walls with stuff in front of them. Checked last night after dinner. Doesn't matter anyway. I already know what we're looking for, and it's not even in the middle of the maze. I did a double take, frowning. Wait, you already know where the metal is? Why didn't you say anything? We even grabbed it when you were here. Not sure it's the one the clue was talking about, but I found something like it. Well, that's one question answered anyway. What's the other? Why were you out here after dinner? Like, I assumed you'd be doing something, in the gym. Hey, I could do what I want, when I want. Fine, I was out here thinking about stuff. Need the fresh air for a change. I held Tyson's gaze, expecting him to elaborate, but he left the explanation there. Bro, it would be so cool. It would be so cool to have night vision. Like, I'm not thinking of changing my Sona to be like a wolf or anything anytime soon, just for the night vision. I still like the hyena. So, come on, pup. Let me show you this thing I found. Trust me, this nose can lead us there, no problem. Tyson wandered off towards the maze, expecting me to follow close behind, with how he slowed down upon realizing I wasn't immediately next to him. He led the way, slightly ahead and sticking to my left-hand side. It was what he used to do in school. Apparently it was easier with him leading so that he could shove people out of the way, given all I had to do was follow his wake. On the way home, it was different though. Where I'd lead and he'd stick behind me until we got to mine. Then he doubled back to his place a few doors down. Ty? What? You sure you know where you're going? Yeah, why? No reason, just checking. Almost as helping my point, Dean, wailing for some help finding his way, rang clear over the walls in the maze. Hasa's voice echoed soon after, telling him to just keep going and stay calm. Have I ever led you astray, pup? I stared hard into the back of Ty's skull until he turned to me to look at me, quirking a brow upon noticing my expression. Really, think back. As I returned my stare, I started to think back. Seeing it as a challenge, I wasn't expecting to think something immediately, but Ty's grin was throwing me off. He knew I was finding it difficult, and now just waiting for me to admit I was wrong. What's wrong, pup? Don't want to admit I'm right? No, that's not... Just give me another minute. I continued to think, but was drawing blank. He was right. Everything that I thought of turned out to be of him shouldering the burden of any wrongdoing in case things went off. And then the few times that I asked his opinion on something, he'd flat out say he didn't know or that it didn't matter. All in all, I was reliable. A jerk, but reliable. I wouldn't say that. Actually, you know what? I would say that, but he is something. Why is my cursor loading? Okay, you win. See, was it that hard? That smile, bro. Just let me hug you, bro. Let me hug you for real. I whined, defeated, sinking forward a couple more paces, expecting Ty to be moving. Instead, with my head hung, I bumped into his front. Oh. As if recoil bumping into him, I moved away and followed up with an apology. Ty held me carefully in place with a hand on the back of my head. Look, you trust me, yeah? I'm not gonna get us lost. Here, just makes you feel better, just hold on to my top or something, so you don't get separated. It was when Ty pulled away, expecting me to just decide for myself what I wanted to do. Grab his hand, grab his shirt, grab his tail. Okay. Grab his hand, grab his shirt, grab his tail. I really want to grab his tail, bro. I'm gonna grab his hand, but I want to grab his tail so badly. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save here. I'll save here, sure. Oh, wait, it's blue. The save is blue. It's not orange. Why is it blue? Anyhow. I am going to grab his, I'm gonna grab his hand. After recording, I'll see what happens if I grab his tail. I'll probably edit it or something. I'm gonna grab his hand. Sizing out my options, it seemed to be one option that made the most sense. I took a few steps forward before taking Ty's hand. He stopped in his tracks, eyes forward, ears straight up. I looked at him confused. Ty? Yeah. Is this okay? Yeah, it's fine, I guess. Whatever. Why was he shocked like that? I felt him give my hand a slight squeeze as if affirming that I was in fact holding his hand. I only remember a few times where we'd held hands, and it was typically just so he could drag me along somewhere. Alright, let's get going, pal. We continued wandering with the sound of Dean's wails filling the silence. I kept stealing glances at Ty, who had his eyes trained forward, seemingly wanting to memorize path rather than sniffing his way forward. Eventually, Ty led me to the spot, pulling his hand free. Alright, let me just see if it's still here. Sure, alright. I got down on his hands and knees, digging around on the soil near one of the walls. Ty? What? What are you doing? Like, I thought we weren't digging. Just stash something here, that's all. So, out of the way? Yeah. If this is one of the metals, you were just going to leave it out here? Yep. That's sort of a dick move, Ty. Why? Didn't know what it was when I found it. Didn't look all that valuable. Besides, I would have let you know, Pop. Okay, but you could have just stashed it in your room. Now that you're on the ground sniffing around like... Ty turns to me, glaring me down again. Say it and you'll regret it. May like ya, but don't go off calling me a dog either, Pop. He went back to rummaging around. Don't... Be careful, guys. Do not call Tyson the dog. Puppy. Anyways. He went back to rummaging, grumbling as he did so. I sheepishly stood in place, thinking back to the last time I accidentally called him a dog. Not long after, Ty pulled what appeared to be a half metal disc. It's half of something? Look enough like one of those metals. I guess, but why is it only half? Does it count that we were meant to look for? So I handed it over and I ran my fingers over the rusted surface. It was hard to tell if it was rust, dirt, or just something else. It was hard to make out any sort of design on the surface. Maybe a line at best. It wasn't going to be enough to identify it as a zodiac sign. If it doesn't turn out to be one of those metals, I'll just hawk it for the cash when we get back. Isn't it just a piece of metal? Metal can be worth a bit. Need to know what's worth what you're going to trade in scrapyard. Do I want to know what you've been up to? Probably not. Either way, take it with you just in case. If it turns out not to be what you're after, you can always just give it back. Well, I held the piece of metal out for Tyson's sake back. Maybe you should hold on to it. I'll probably just lose it. Tyson shrugged and shoved the piece of metal into his pants. He had pockets, but he had pockets, but opted not. Oh, he shoved it in his pants. Opted not to use them. Almost after they were full already. So what now? I guess we could keep searching the maze. Sounds like Dean's still lost at least, so we wouldn't be the last ones to reach the middle. I seemed to think about it for a bit before shaking his head. Nah, he could keep searching. But I have something I want to do instead. Like what? Wouldn't you like to know? It would just hit the gym. I gave Ty a look, earning he shrugged back. Go with your friends. I'll be around later. I'll bring you back to the start though, so you don't end up like the bear. I took the initiative of taking my hand in his, leading me through the maze once more. We wandered in silence, my grip on Ty's hand tightening slightly. Ty gave my hand a squeeze back, stopping shy of presumably one of the final turns in the maze. You gonna be good? Yeah, why? Ty searching my face for an answer and seemingly found it, turning back to the face where we were going. Just making sure. Are you gonna be good? Yeah, I'll be fine. Before we exited the maze, Ty violently pulled his hand free of mine, head darting around the place. I sighed, finding myself having enjoyed holding his hand more than I should have. Oh. Well, catch you later, bub. Wait, Ty, before you go... What? Thanks. No props. See ya. He's such a sweetheart, bro. I swear. I need someone like Tyson in my life. For real. It'd be like the perfect. It'd be like the perfect. I'm Dave. I need my Tyson, yo. I need my Tyson. I need my Tyson. Mike Tyson. That's crazy. I watched as he headed back to the mansion, right up until he disappeared back inside. He didn't look back once. As we stand, as I was standing there, I buried my hands into the pouch of my hoodie with a sigh. Oh, Dave, did you get lost? Hmm? Oh, no, just taking a break, I guess. Oh, me too. Turns out navigating a maze was a bit more difficult than I expected. There's not really any way of navigating in there, is there? Not really, no. It's a lot bigger than I gave it credit for. Dean's wails echoed again, punctuating Roswell's point. Huh? It didn't take long before we all assembled back in front of the maze, with Orlando needing to go back to retrieve Dean. We headed back towards the mansion, a mixed bag of how people felt that one. Shame about the fun is over. Sorry, but you can't best me at mazes. As if to prove his point further, Orlando flashed the medallion he got from the middle of the maze. The exact route he took there, he didn't quite know, but the important thing was that the medal was found. If it's a game, then trust me, I'm the best position to take first place. That was a little harder than I gave it credit for, but at least it was something different. No kidding. But hey, 11 more medals to find, right? I looked back to the mansion wondering what Ty was up to, or even what he found was another one of the medals. I figured I may as well keep that to myself for now until I was sure. He patted me on the shoulder, groaning to himself. Remind me not to go wandering in there again. I thought I'd be stuck in there forever. It wasn't that bad, was it? If I'm going back in, I'm bringing climbing gear to scale those walls just in case. But I don't think there's another medal in there, so there shouldn't be any need to go in there unless you really wanted to. Alright. Cool. Good. So, what's now? Well, I was thinking I might go experiment in the kitchen for a bit. Then I'll swim. I'm gonna go sort out some gardening stuff then. So we're all going our separate ways for now? Guess I could go read until it's time for dinner, I suppose. What are you planning on doing, Dave? Me? Don't know. Might go play games or something. Want some company? I was thinking about heading into the woods to look for mushrooms, but I wanted to take a break first anyway. Sure, why not? Great. And so Roswell and I headed off together. We didn't get far enough, though, with Roswell's eyes off the stairs leading into the basement. What's up? Oh, nothing. Nothing really. Just curious. No. Just the room downstairs. What? The password could be and such. Any guesses? Not really. I've been thinking about it more and more. I have a notepad upstairs where I brainstorm some ideas. Up until waiting for the password off Benson. Well, can't blame me for trying. I'm sure the thought has crossed your mind too. Maybe? Well, before we settle in for games, how about we try cracking that password? Do we have to? Yes. It's like our duty. Besides, it's like a game, right? Games are meant to be beaten. You got me there. You head down, I'll just head to my room real quick to grab that notebook. Don't want me to wait up for you? Honestly, I was hoping you could scope the place out to make sure Tyson wasn't around, just in case, you know. Oh, sure, no worries. See you in a bit. I recognized the smell as soon as I went downstairs. It was Tyson. That particular smell that accompanied him whenever he did a workout and then didn't shower after. Based on the fact I could hear his grunts or the sound of the gym equipment moving, I figured I was down here myself. Alrighty, let's see. The room remained for the most part unchanged. The device next to the door was still awaiting some sort of entry, although I had no idea what I was looking for. Can't hurt to have to try while I wait, right? There's another password? Wait, what do I even put? What do I put? Mushroom? As soon as I hit enter, it beeped angrily at me before clearing the screen. Guess that was wrong. Try again, yeah. What what else can I put? I don't think there's anything else I could put. How am I supposed to know a password if I don't even... Benson, sure. Does it... What's wrong? Yeah, sure, give up. I don't know what I'm supposed to be even putting. Guys, if you guys know some words or stuff I could try for the next video, put them in the comments. Because I wanna know these passwords. I wanna know. And I don't feel like... Because how am I supposed to know the damn passwords? Like, that one password that I got from my friend, it was just pure dumb luck. It was just pure dumb luck, if I'm being for real. Well, my friend, he gave it to me, actually. He literally just gave it to me. Why did he give me that one? I don't know. Finally, it didn't take long for Roswell to arrive, holding his notebook. Okay, let's see if anything I have works. Think you might have something? Maybe. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, right? Oh, look at this. Hold on a sec, guys. I need a thumbnail shot. Boom, boom. Okay, whoops. Boom, perfect. Thumbnail shot. So he spent the rest of the afternoon going through Roswell's notebook, trying passwords. He only flicked through briefly before starting his attempts. The notebook sat down on the floor between his feet. He sat back as Roswell tried each one, taking a break between each to tell me where he's got the idea for. With how fast Roswell was putting in the passwords, though, it didn't take him long before turning back disappointed. Well, that sucks. Were you seriously expecting to just happen into the password? Well, no, but it would have been nice. What about the game? Well, sure, but still. Sure. I'm out of ideas anyway. So I suppose we just weren't meant to open it, huh? Does it look like it? The comment hung in the air before Roswell finally broke the silence. I think I'm gonna go look for mushrooms in the forest. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Maybe if I can find anything good, I could give it to Orlando to cook up. Not worried about getting lost? Not gonna happen. My nose will take me right to them if they're about. Worst case scenario, I'll just be able to smell dinner and come back. Really? Your nose is that good? For mushrooms, at least. Don't think I'll be able to really track anything. Huh. Well, good to know, I guess. So what are you planning on doing then? Wanna come with? Nah, might just go see what the others are up to. Just make sure you tell Orlando to keep a window open so I smell my way home. Sure, sounds easy enough. We left the basement and returned to the foyer. Roswell waved goodbye and left out the back while I returned to my room. After spending the rest of the afternoon in my room, I figured I'd go see how dinner was shaping up. Oh, afternoon, Dave. Oh, boss. Afternoon. Been busy? Nah, just took it easy after the maze. I mean, I could have probably done more with my afternoon, but I was tired. Had a bit of a cat nap, did we? Something like that, at least. Did you come up with any leads towards the medallions? Not really. Could maybe check the museum or whatever to find something. But if it were that easy, I don't think Benson would be asking us to find them. Drat. Well, I'm sure we'll hit another clue eventually. House and I wandered to the dining room to make small talk. But it seemed the pair of us enter at the... Okay, come on! Bro! 2 fights in 1 video, guys. That's awesome. But it seemed the pair of us entered the room at the wrong time. I was staring Dean down, but otherwise I was grinding his teeth. Dean, meanwhile, looked like he'd been sprung up doing something he shouldn't have. Tyson looked much the same, bored or fed up with something. At least he didn't seem to be the cause of whatever was going on this time. Orlando seemed flustered about something, but the food was already on the table, so who knows exactly what had him acting this way. Do I want to know what's going on? Dean can't keep it in his pants again. No, well, sort of, but he didn't really try anything, honest. What? All I did was ask a simple question. Not my fault you guys took it out of context. Context? Sal took 2 steps closer to Dean and Dean took 2 back. Hey, calm down. It's not my fault, I was curious. Who else was I gonna ask? I looked between Sal and Dean, not really sure what to look, or even where to begin piecing together what happened. It seemed as though Haas was in the same boat. Both of us looked at one another at a loss. And the next moment, Dean was floored by a sudden punch to the nose from, oh my god. Dean went stiff on impact and fell back and started groaning and clutching his nose. Whoa! Well, that happened. Dean was still making a fuss on the floor nearby, holding his nose, and it was clear he was bleeding. God damn, bro, Sal, what the fuck? I looked at everyone else around the table, a mix of shock and unease across those not directly involved. Haas wandered over to Dean to help him up, dropping him in the closest chair, conveniently far enough from where the others were sitting. What did he do? He was being inappropriate. Enough to just floor him? He was being that inappropriate. I looked over to Dean, groaning and holding his nose as he seemingly became aware he was no longer on the floor. God damn. Maybe just talk it out next time? You're lucky it's hard for Dean to hold a grudge. I don't know many people you'd get away with just punching in the face, regardless the reason. It seemed as though Sal resigned the point, but without him actually saying so, it was hard to know if he wasn't just brushing me off. With the excitement, for the most part, over, we sat down and began to eat. So, spaghetti. Yeah. Okay, after that, after you cut the music for Sal to punch this dude, and then you just put back the peaceful music. Yeah, I got carried away with my experimentation. I lost track of time. Good thing Sal came and found me. Carbohydrates. They're good after a decent swim. Okay, bro's literally Bro's literally so calm after just flooring Dean. Bro, I will not stand for this. Why the fuck, Sal? Like, bro, I love you, man, but you didn't have to floor my boy Dean like that. Really? I thought it was the protein you wanted. Oh, that too. That's why I made meatballs too. Otherwise, it would have just been really basic tomato-based sauce. Huh, neat. I actually had meatballs earlier today with like some rice. So, I've been meaning to ask, but didn't think it was all that appropriate given what was going down. But where's Roswell? Oh, he didn't come back yet? Roswell! I ran out of the dining room to the backyard without really explaining what happened. Haas and Orlando hurried alongside behind me, and I'm not curious as to why I haven't given Orlando a straight answer. What are you doing, Dave? Roswell, can you hear me? It was my fault. My carelessness had wound Roswell up in the forest along with whatever called the woods its home. What happened? Roswell was... Orlando shook me gently while Haas tried to peel him away. Hey, maybe give him some breathing space to explain? Although if I'm guessing right, I don't think I'm gonna like the explanation. Please, what happened, Dave? I tugged lightly on my fur, peering into the darkness beyond the edge of the trees, hoping to catch a glimpse of Roswell to make this whole thing blow over. Roswell said he was going to spend the afternoon gathering mushrooms, so... Haas and Orlando looked at one another, all three of us now worried. You haven't seen him since we got back inside, right? Nope. Please say you have. Negative. Alright, well, for starters, Dave, I think you better stop tugging at your fur before you get patchy. Beyond that, hold on, let me check something. He pulled out his phone quickly, tapping the screen before holding it up to his ear. We waited, and Haas' expression shifted back to him, focusing to worry when whoever was calling didn't pick up. He tried again, getting much the same result. Hopefully his phone is just dead. Or he left it inside, but I whined, feeling terrible. What do we do? I don't know. Should we get Dean? Dean's already here. What's going on? Isn't your nose bleeding still, buddy? Where's Roswell? I pointed towards the forest, too ashamed to say it out loud. Out there? Now? He's answering his phone, and calling out didn't do anything, so... Damn. Checking is going to be impossible with it being this dark. We run the risk of getting lost ourselves. We're getting injured in the process. I hate to say it, but if Roswell's out there... Dean scratched his head, and I shrank down to my shoulders a little more. My stomach tightened with worry, but if searching for him now was a bad idea, our hands were tied. If Roswell is lost... Sal looked directly at me, holding eye contact with his tone serious. You better hope he's alright come morning. Oh, that was a threat, bro. Dinner was tense, and we ate in silence. With Roswell missing, it was maybe his absence, or we were all collectively worried about if he was okay. It didn't take me long to get ready for bed, but my mind going through about Roswell stuck in the forest. I looked out the window at the black sea of trees, hoping he was alright, and if he didn't hold it against me for forgetting. I must have fell asleep soon after because I don't really remember drifting off so much as just passing out. Huh? I was awake again, much earlier than I needed to be. I had been sleeping, alright, until I'd been woken up, but until I'd been awoken by something. Listening in the dark, I waited, wondering if what had woken me up would make itself unknown. Silence. Nothing but silence. Just waiting was stopping me from sleeping, and I was looking around the rooms and hoped that it'd change. When nothing changed, I got up, figuring maybe a glass of water would help. In the middle of the night, the house was dark. Still, the faintest squeak as the door to my room opened is all I could hear, followed by the sound of the same door closing behind me gently. Something was just off with how quiet the place was, as if every room was potentially soundproofed. Hello? Piercing the silence was the sound of footsteps, only a couple at first, before they hurried along with a vocal reply. Who's there? I strained my eyes in the dark and I saw a silhouette disappearing into the dark corners of the level we were on. Then, from out of nowhere, you're a blade. Oh God, Ty! What the hell? I shoved him gently, sighing out. What the hell yourself? What are you doing wandering around? Something woke me up. Something, huh? Oh, yeah. I thought I heard... I'm guessing you didn't hear anything? No, just out for a wander. Do you normally stay up this late? Pretty much. Don't generally have company, but it's good for some alone time. Also a good time to work out, or just take a walk. Why do I get the impression that it's not just a walk? Ever hook up in public? Wait, what? Well, that or random bouts of vandalism, tipping over trash cans and whatever. Seriously? Priorities change, pup. Haven't done one of them in a fair while. Which one? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, I'm going back to bed. I don't know about you, but standing out here is getting old. Yeah, probably for the best. If it wasn't so late, I'd bring you to my room. But I ain't setting up another bed for you to sleep in. Such a gentleman. Bitch, I'm plenty, gentlemen. That you are, Ty. That you are. That you are. Look at it. Bro, I want to hug him. I want to hug him. This man right here, I want to hug. Anyways, night. Night, Tyson. Watched Tyson disappear into the dark. Maybe it was Benson moving about? Maybe it was someone else sleepwalking after hearing Tyson enter his room? I went back to mine. There wasn't anyone else out here to talk to. But even then, I didn't sleep easy. Day 5, and this is where we are going to end today's video, guys. We're going to end today's video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Password. Next part, like I said, if you guys could give me like some ideas for like the passwords, or if you guys could give me some ideas for passwords, like if you don't know the password directly, maybe some ideas. If you know the password, please like put it in the comment section. But I need some ideas on like the passwords and all that. I need to know like what the hell these passwords are, because I only got one. I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to find these passwords. Are they like hidden around in like text or something? Are they hidden around in the background or whatnot or whatever shit? I need to know these passwords. But without further ado, guys, I'm going to end today's episode here. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below again if there is a password. And I shall see you guys all next time. Have a fabulous night. Peace out.